Welcome, one and all, to the best of Big Buckin Empire 2021, Part 3, folks. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, because there's plenty more to come here, folks. We are here, Big Buckin Empire, to celebrate the best of 2021, folks. This is a doozy of a one. We start off by checking in at the chicken coop, where me, Tony, we go over to Iowa, we cross the Great Missouri River, and we check in with the Great Chicken over at the chicken coop. And this, folks, is where you see me, the King of Extreme, claim the emperorship of Big Buckin Empire. Yes, so despite being the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man that makes the other podcast cower, the prince and potentate of the political parlance, the lord of the Scottish Highlands, and one damn handsome man, if I do say so myself. Check me out at KOE Nation on YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. You know it's the right thing to do. KOE Nation, folks. It's where you need to be. And also, after you've done that, head on over to Linktr.ee/bigbuckin so you can find Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast, Big Buckin Empire, and KOE Nation links, amongst many, many more. And last but certainly not least, check out Tony the Rod 2.0 on TikTok. You know it's the right thing to do, folks. So, this was quite a best of. We got into a lot of controversies. We got into the Lola Bunny controversy. We got into the Chris Cuomo controversy. We have some guests of the show, some friends of the show, Tom Foolery and Falinor, come in to give their thoughts on the world, and it was pretty fun time. Tom was a little sleepy at one point. I give my midterm predictions all the way back in February and March of 2021, and it looks like I will ultimately be vindicated, but we shall see. And also, wait, there's a special little gag at the end, folks. You're going to want to see it. So, all that being said, let's get right into this best of 2021, Part 3.
Folks, but okay, yes, we'll get everybody on the screen here. Jeez, feels like show me.
My God, he couldn't wait the 10 seconds to get the intro finished.
I know, right?
Actually discussing the minimum wage topic, and something that I want you all to consider here, folks, and it was something I brought up there, and it's something I want you all to consider. In 1968, the minimum wage was set to $1.60 an hour, but that was under silver coinage. The dollar was legally defined as 1 troy ounce of silver, and if you were to actually adjust for the actual melting price, $1.60 would actually translate to about $42 to $43 an hour in wage that you were actually taking home in purchasing power. So, if you want to help the little guy, advocate for sound money. You want to fuck over the big times, advocate for sound money. That's how you actually, because you can raise the minimum wage as high as you like. There's no way that any gains you make aren't going to be inflated out from under you. So you have to have a sound money before you can really jockey for that one way or the other.
What I find fascinating the most is that this is actually coming to fruition as we're all, submitting our W-2s, getting our tax returns anyway. A lot of people paying in, a lot of people getting back right around this time when we're supposedly going to put through a massive stimulus package. So I think it's really, I'm really interested to see
Jesus
how
Christ,
this thing.
I'm eating the comments.
Yeah, no shit. It's like fucking
Like
Pac-Man
Pac-Man.
over here. But I'm really interested to see how this really impacts things long term. Everybody
Eat 'em now.
getting their money back at the same time, plus the stimulus money. It's going to have an effect somewhere at some point. Like people who needed money to make rent, they're finally going to get that through taxes or stimulus. And yes, I said it a bunch of times during.
Stimulus,
But
a lot.
Not just that, but all this extra money coming in, things reopening. Like, could we see us as a society just start going completely overboard, because a lot of people have been cooped up for as long as they have, going just batshit and saying fuck it, we might get shut down again in a few months, who knows at this point, COVID-20 might happen, fuck it, let's go nuts, let's spend all this money, not save it, let's enjoy ourselves while we still can. I could see this having this massive effect Not in a good way necessarily. Like, I want to see things open back up. I really do. But damn, people might go absolutely nuts with this money coming in and things reopen. I'm really interested to see where we're at a year from now.
Such a good host with all the hospitalities that you'd ever possibly need. Yeah, that is a very interesting point you bring there, T. EU. Yes, this is the high-minded content you come to the Dog and Chicken Show for. But yes, Tony, whenever you give... Well, it's an old economic...
Austin Powers, where he bites the asparagus.
It's just one of those economic laws that wherever you give people free money, you will lock them into whatever behaviors they're currently doing.
Tell you what, with so he's really Jesus Christ, and like,
Well, no,
he's like,
trying to read
I
the
look
cover
over,
thing.
he's like sneaking up on me. I'm like, yeah, it's like
They're
Biden's
bigger.
sniffing me over
They're
here.
bigger over there.
Yeah. So we got the chat up on 2 different screens. One's really small and one's bigger. So yeah, look my way, fellas. It's bigger over here. No, Jesus, I don't even know where I was going. Oh yeah, so like Biden like came out today and did this whole push of trying to talk the Senate into. Well, it's a plea to, hey, pass my $1.9 trillion that 3% actually goes to COVID relief. But he's like begging, get this done, which it really wasn't a begging. I think it was more of a calling. We've seen this before. If you don't pass this, we're going to make it sound like Republicans blocked it.
Yeah.
That's
Boy, folks,
basically what's going to happen.
we're sitting in a very interesting, precarious position where we do have someone that is sitting in the office of 1400 Pennsylvania Avenue. We have someone that goes to the Oval Office every day and occupies the White House, yet we find ourselves without an actual leader. And that is a very scary point that we find ourselves. Because
Don't talk
Biden,
about Kamala Harris like
well,
that.
no, even Kamala, like, she's a very effective administrator, but she has no leadership capability.
Well.
So that's where we are at right now, folks, is
You
we
don't
are
know
currently
that.
a nation without a leader.
You don't
She
know that.
couldn't lead people to give her one vote.
No, that's
so
what I'm saying, though. You
no,
don't know
she's
that.
got no leadership
Even Lindsey
capability.
Graham thinks already that Biden's not in charge. He's already saying, no, this is clearly not.
Well,
Joe
yeah,
Biden.
no, he's not in charge. And yes, Kamala's a very competent administrator. She's a very competent when it comes to working backroom deals. When it comes to actually leading,
Which back room?
well, I'm just talking about the standard
I'll
good
get
old
dirty
boy.
with it. I don't give a shit.
I'm just talking about
Giggity.
the good old boys from
Giggity.
California.
Yes.
Yeah, she's part of that good old boys club of California, and now she's the vice president of these United States. But no, I don't.
assume
I've never
their
seen
gender.
anything from her or Biden that really indicates leadership capability. Yes, they can occupy certain offices and they can fill some very big shoes that are way too big for their feet. But yeah, that's Lord Phil. Yes, you are true. You are right.
Said
Lead us. You are correct. The country does need a new leader. They need an extreme leader, and that is why in 2024, do the right thing. Vote extreme.
So-
Vote Phil KOE.
Okay, since we're all here in person and we're already talking about the 2024 election, is this you officially entering the race?
Well, we've already had this
I have
conversation.
already
Well, I know, but we're
announced
not
and
in
entered.
person. I feel like this is a perfect
Okay, since
opportunity.
you don't know, Tony, since you know what, all right. check it out.
I already
Just
put
leave
him
me in the
up.
dark, I
I
guess, guys.
already put
See
him
this
up.
shit? Do you see this shit? They didn't even tell me we were doing suits tonight. You know, that's how the 9-time champ gets fucking treated around here. No respect.
That's because we bring class and dignity to the title.
Yeah,
and
and
you
I
don't,
bring
so.
winning, goddammit, winning.
And losing.
Right here.
Not-
Since Tony
you've
does
lost
not know,
twice.
Tony,
I'm sorry
this
you
is
didn't have the
me
opportunity to
telling
lose
you
more.
to your face that I, Phil KOE, have announced my candidacy for the presidency of the United States of America.
I was hoping he'd say statesy.
Nope.
The candidacy for the presidency of the United Statesy.
Yeah. Don't give me any ideas.
Careful with a firearm hidden up in their pocket or whatnot.
Tony, I'm sorry. You wearing those sunglasses and a hat, and I don't know if you're looking at me, if you're looking at Phil.
That's part of the mystery.
It's not a mystery.
I
I'm
should've
just
wore
like,
the- I should've
is
wore
this
the yellow
motherfucker paying
glasses.
attention?
No, I'm not looking at you. Oh, I'm just looking at
Sorry.
myself.
You
You
anyway,
can tell when I'm not. I'm just.
Yeah, well, that's true.
no, because you're just photobombing everybody's camera shot.
That's true. That's also true. It's true.
It's
True. It's true.
It's,
Hold on, I gotta address this one real quick. God, Tony and Phil looking good in HD. They're not pixelated. Phil's like in sync with his words.
Can you see me dancing my pecs for you?
Oh, yeah. And Bernadette said stimulus.
No, I think
If they can get universal background checks.
You God, now what?
Just
Imagine if he was flexing his pecs in a suit.
if I was wearing a suit, you wouldn't be able to see my titties.
Oh,
I might have an extra one.
I don't know if I'd fit into it. I've put on a
It
little
was
winter
back
weight.
when I was skinnier.
Oh, well. Gee, then I definitely won't fit
Oh,
into
you
it.
might.
Jesus.
But yeah, we'll see what happens with that one. But
I might just have to go get you one. I don't know if I can deal with this anymore. Boys, I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna go get Tony a suit jacket.
Fine.
I'll be right back. Boy in the house.
Can I just say, I think it's really nice of you. If everybody watches back to our live episode from last year, episode 50, it was like 102 degrees in Chicken's garage when we did
We were
that.
all sweating balls.
We were all sweating balls. I think it's really nice of him to find a way for us all to sweat together once again.
Yeah, we
In
all
the
just
middle
put
of
on
winter.
jackets.
Yep,
and,
we all put
and
on jackets. And,
I have the fireplace burning over here. And
I mean, it was nice of you to get it up to at least 85 in
Thank
here,
you.
so we'd know at least.
yeah.
Yeah, what that was nice of you.
Yeah, anybody that wants to watch, like, literal torture, go back and watch that.
torture on whose end?
Everybody.
You guys fucking made me try 12 fucking rye whiskeys. I was not prepared
That
for
was
that.
after the podcast.
Oh my god, yeah. We sweat for 2 hours, and then here, let's drink a bunch of grassroots rye whiskey, and let's just sweat that right out. My
Yeah, we were
God.
already shit-faced when we started that, too. And
That was
I don't know how we survived that.
Too much of an imitation of the master of sartorial resplendency himself, Phil KOE. So I get it, but now I understand. But always remember, imitation is the most sincere form of flattery. So
Thanks for cutting camera back. Made me look like a weirdo. I was trying to creep in on Phil's shot, and then all of a sudden I'm like,
well, that's why you looked like a weirdo. You're trying to creep in on Lord Phil's
I
shot.
happen to
and
look amazing in a suit, and I'm sorry you wouldn't be able to keep your fucking hands off of me. So,
Look at me. I'm keeping my hands off of you.
okay, yeah, but he's playing footsie with me, and I don't know how, because there's a wall behind.
Oh, this is actually a Weller's keg, by the way. Did I mention
Really?
that? Yeah, WL.
Score a 10 would
Check-
be just
There you
fine,
go.
but I'd rather be dressed to the nine.
Is there anything
It's,
in
It's a
it?
thing
December
you can't
21,
refuse.
2009, WL Weller, Kentucky.
Wow. Where'd you find that?
Nothing suits
It was
me
here.
like a suit.
Shit,
I
what
bought
the
it.
fuck
I-
are you doing?
Singing nothing suits me like a suit.
He's not paying attention to anything we're talking
Well, it's
about.
WL Wellers. That's nice.
Thanks for coming back.
Welcome,
I was listening-
welcome to the show,
I
Phil.
was listening the whole time. I'm the one making this show truly showbiz. So,
Nobody has ever tuned in expecting show tunes to be sung during the show, but
well, Tony, that's
Half
why
that
I
margin.
offer more
Nobody's ever
and
tuning in
more
expecting half
and
of what we
more.
fucking talk
That's
about.
right.
Exactly,
fair.
and that's why they tune in, so they can get all the wacky things that happen here on the Dog and Chicken Show. Thanks to your
Just
devilishly handsome outlaw, Phil
Three-
Kelly,
three
and Dog and
sweating
Chicken.
guys.
They're nice.
I do them,
Three
says
sweating
Brandon.
guys.
So
we
we got to get our first one in. So Phil, tell us one interesting fact.
I am the king of extreme.
that's not interesting.
It's resized. Damn it.
Oh, well,
We can still do it.
I'll let
Fuck it.
There we go. Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful.
Now they're all going to be the wrong size now. I changed the camera. I went from 1080 to 720 and then back to 1080, and so
You
everything
piece
shrunk.
of shit.
I know I am a piece
God.
of shit.
What an asshole.
Fucking Christ. I had this all planned out.
Chicken just like takes his coat off, throws it down. I don't want to do this
Yeah.
anymore.
Fucking quit.
Yep. Well, thanks, guys. This was a fun Dog and Chicken show. See you for episode
All right.
79, maybe.
I'll keep talking out the KOE Nation because we are doing the Sweet 16 Bourbon Tournament. This upcoming Friday, the Woodford line drops, and then all 16 will be decided.
Phil's been exposed. Somebody saw your man bun.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I tried to get my hair cut yesterday.
It's a Highlander pony.
Yes, I'm the Duncan MacLeod Highlander ponytail. Yeah.
The man bun of extreme.
Varying members of the audience, one thing that you need to realize when it comes to a suit coat, one of the most important accessories, which, while, like I said, imitation is the most important form of flattery, but they're lacking pocket squares, and so much of the ensemble comes from here. Now, where you guys are, there we go. Tony's just throwing I like Tony's idea. Now I'm gonna let Chicken. He's gonna. You know what? I like it. it.
You know, pocket squares
All
are
right.
for
Tony's-
amateurs.
I got Dalmore. He's got
You
Glenmorangie.
just gotta have pocket scotch.
I gotta give you that. Like, that's a little more classy.
Just cover
KOE
up the
wear-
Glenmorangie.
I don't know. I mean, I'm having a hard time stretching my leg as far as it'll stretch in these jeans. He's asking if I'm wearing skinny jeans in the comments. And I was like, yeah, these are, I mean,
I'll be honest.
I can't utilize my full black belt level karate and
Phil,
gold
it's
sash
Saturday night.
kung fu movie.
I'll be
moves.
honest. On the way up here, it's a good thing Phil was driving because I could not take my eyes off Phil in those jeans. It was just like, it's a good thing I was riding shotgun.
Oh, this is getting creepy.
It's a good thing that there's like a lot of, like, I've got one of those pickup trucks, Ford F-150, where there's a bunch of stuff between the driver and the passenger.
It's not a Ford Ranger?
No, it's not a Ford Ranger. It's a Ford F-150. Yeah,
Full
I know.
Ranger.
Yes. I gotta do my, what the audience is coming here for. Since we had to interrupt, the audience needs some Farley. So, well, a lot of you are wondering, come on, Jack, how are we gonna get this podcast back on track? Because if we don't get on live so that the Dog and Chicken Show can see us, Tony, Chicken, and Phil will end up in a van down by the river. So we gotta make sure we can get back on live, folks. Which goes down the wrong tube.
Oh, yeah,
That's
that's the
never
worst.
but so, folks,
You want to know what happens when Scotch goes down a wrong tube? You get teary-eyed. I'm about to cry.
yep. Now, actually, my father used to be a bartender, and that was one of his, Scotch was one of his words that he marked as when it's time to cut somebody off. When they say, Scotch. When I'll take a Scotch.
I'll take another Scotch.
All right, this is your last one. But
Can you pronounce the letter T?
gosh.
God.
The problem when it comes to Syria that we do need to keep in mind is what is to actually be gained. Here's the fascinating thing. Here's the fascinating thing about this.
Isn't this about the gas line, the natural gas line?
Hang on.
even
Well,
do that?
the fact that we are speculating about what it's about is the whole point.
Yeah.
Nobody in our government has given us a value proposition as to why we should care about this, why we need to put our blood and treasure into a nation that has been in a civil war for 15 fucking years. What are we supposed to do there? Bomb their piles of rubble into slightly smaller piles of rubble? There's nothing left to fucking accomplish. We're fighting over one of the stretches of the Middle East with hardly any oil under it. Nobody has even articulated why we need to be there.
With
The fact that
Iraq.
nobody has even done that to you, that should show you that this has nothing to do with your interests, your safety, or anything. We're not on the fucking urge of speaking fucking Syrian.
No,
I
and
yield
with
This
back.
motherfucker's spitting.
motherfucker's spitting.
The Scottish Highlands, Phil KOE, the king of the extreme, the conqueror of the ethereal, and the emperor of the Big Buckin Empire. Ha ha! I claimed it first. And I hand it off to my indomitable broadcast
What?
partners.
Whoa.
Yeah!
No, he can't do that. Did not appreciate it, so ended up having to change that app logo, and I'm like, what kind of fucking job? Like, how embarrassed would that guy have been? Whoever made that one that day, holy shit! How much shit is that guy gonna catch at work for the rest of his life now? Like, oh yeah, you're the guy that made the Hitler mustache logo with the Amazon.
He said it.
Oh, I did. Damn it, drink. This is gonna go swimmingly. Trust me.
But you're trying to pull up the picture so everybody can see what it was. Or?
Yeah. Well, so Tony, I'm blaming this all on Tony. He's usually I'm pulling
pull-up
up the
guy?
screen share. He's watching the chat, and I'm trying to do both of them tonight. And I've been slacking on this because I haven't had to for a long time. Here we go. All right, dismiss. So yes, the one on the left is what it originally came out to be. And then everybody freaked out and said, that looks like Hitler.
Oh, and we're drinking.
And drinking again.
Damn it.
It looks like Adolf.
So I did find I did find, and shout out to Urasama actually sent this to us in our Discord, which I'll share that later, so you can jump on and join us there. He actually sent a zoomed out version of it. I had seen this. I think I saw it on Timcast IRL. Somebody created a zoomed out version of what it would look like. There is your Amazon Adolf.
I'll just jump off screen here. Yeah. Oh, good God. Good God. Yeah, that's terrible. That's terrible. I mean, when you put it like that, yeah, I could see why they needed to change that, because if somebody can just change your
this was
company
made up
logo,
afterwards. Yeah, but
yeah,
but
you can pull that down. You can pull that down.
Feels like, oh God, I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah. So if somebody can change your company logo that easily into something that offensive, yeah, that's one of those
whoopsie moments
from somebody that's had some exposure to the corporate world. That'd be like, how did this one get this far? How did this get this far? Like that would be one of those, like, who is the idiot that I'm going to need to yell at over this one?
Yeah. So, do you put that on your resume?
No.
I'm just curious.
No.
Like I am an app logo designer. I like to make thumbnails and app logos for all your phones. Name some famous ones you did, and you'd be like,
and I took
even if you made a good Amazon one, you can never put that on your resume now. You'd be like,
so
if I put the right Amazon one, even they know it's not okay. Like,
so the person that actually designed it shouldn't catch most of the hell. It's the one that approved that design and said, yeah, that looks great. We should put that up as our logo. The person, because he had to submit that to somebody.
Somebody approved it, yeah.
Wash and shit. So I'm kind of glad they went to plastic cups that are disposable, because holy shit, some of the grossest shit. They don't wash sheets. Yeah.
I was so happy with those plastic cups, though. Those are like the best mixed drink cups ever. Like, I don't know what it is. I could sit there and I could probably finish. I don't know what it is. Like, I get a normal whiskey glass and I do a little mix and I sit here and I sip on this and I get about a quarter to a half into a bottle and I'm pretty shitty. I don't know what it is about hotels and those weird plastic cups. As long as I keep it filled with ice and I keep refilling that, dude, I would almost fucking get 3/4 into a bottle and still, like, I'm not saying I wouldn't be drunk, but I don't know why I could drink so much more liquor out of that fucking weird plastic shaped cup. As long as I kept it full of ice, it was fucking crazy. That explains some of our early shows, Phil. Our early live streams. That was me drinking out of those plastic cups all night long.
Yeah, I remember there's one night when you were doing the sober February, and I was like, oh, I'm drinking this blah, 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 and it's in a Glencairn Capita nosing glass, and you're like, I'm drinking some sugar-free soda in a plastic hotel cup, and it smells like soda.
Hindsight, chicken, you actually picked a really shitty month and year to do a sober month.
I didn't know a pandemic was coming, okay?
Yeah, it's like, you brought upon the apocalypse, motherfucker.
I know, chicken takes a month off from drinking and the world goes to shit in March.
Yeah, good job, fucker.
Now you can't
I never thought of that.
Again. That, and then you move down south from South Dakota and you bring the goddamn tundra with you. Thanks, chicken.
Yeah,
I am the glitch in the matrix.
So on the left is the update, and on the right is the classic Lola Bunny. And you don't really get all the curvature there. Yeah, go to that next one.
Old Lola Bunny is a babe.
Yeah, I mean, this is just major babe. Like this confused. Like, I think you're right. I think you're onto something with the furry thing, because this confused so many young adolescents at a young age.
Goodness.
Like,
the hottest rabbit.
That is a hot damn bunny. Man, yeah, right? I mean, all the animated characters were just simping after this chick when she sauntered into that basketball court. I remember where I was.
He was a
I mean, right there in the front
Kardashian
row,
before
man.
Kardashians.
Right? Yeah.
Right.
He
She
liked
had
it.
all the curves going on here.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, the original Lola, quite chesty, very, very much the sexualized babe of the film, and then obviously you see on the right the update where she's much more. Let's just call it out, flat chested. I think that was the goal here. Let's make her flatter. Let's make the thighs a lot less thick, and
she's
I
still
think
got
they've all done
childbearing
her
hips.
makeup.
She's got
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
no knees.
I think that rabbit could easily push out 24 bunnies.
Hold on a sec. Is she wearing like an elbow like fucking brace thing? Like, is she got like
she is.
tendonitis?
I mean, that's everybody.
You know,
in
she's
that
got to have
color
something to
goes
complain
down.
about. You know,
Could
It'd
you
be
imagine
inspirational.
if you went to college for animation and then
God.
you were told, okay, guess what? You're going to get to work on the new Space Jam. and then you find out, oh, wait, no, our focus groups have shown you need to do, like, could you imagine, like, I really didn't think this was going to be my job now. But I'm curious, guys. Again, so you think Robert Downey Jr. is going to make it? You think Eminem's going to make it? I'd bet dollars to donuts that within 5 years, they're both banned to hell, canceled to hell.
You gonna write down that prediction, Tony?
Yeah, write it down, Tate.
Yeah, let me jot that down. Say it one more time for everybody at home, Phil.
5 years.
Within
from now?
5 years, Robert Downey Jr. and Eminem will be banned to hell. They'll be verboten.
Yeah,
Millions of people wanted to hear what Donald Trump had to say during election night, yet he was still censored all the same on social media. So the idea that it's purely what the market wants is not genuine, because there's still tens of millions of people that still want access to this content, yet they're still being blocked. So there's still clearly a value to them that is not being fulfilled.
Yeah, I wouldn't call this cancel culture, and I wouldn't say that this is what the market wants. I would say that this is just people trying to go woke, and that's it.
Yeah. It's a virtue signal in some board room at whoever's making this fucking movie. It's stupid.
Yeah, Lola Bunny needs to be hot.
Yeah,
agreed.
That's fair.
Even the new one's not that bad looking. That was probably the thing that I was like, chest isn't as big and she's not as curvy, but it's not like she's horrible. Like, I'm gonna get ripped apart for this.
I was about to say, Tony's thinking, I've done worse bunnies.
Tony's like, you should have seen that bunny last week. Damn.
Man. When the petting zoo closes, you take the first thing you can get, man.
Lola Chungus.
All right.
I'm getting major parallel flashbacks here to this time a year ago when we were starting to pad the stats for COVID deaths, but the opposite way around. So it's just one more thing that you can't trust the numbers you're being fed, because one way or another, they're going to be used to get the result that you want. So in this case, we're trying to cover it up because New York is a fucking cesspool at the time of just COVID and just everything else in between, right? So we gotta make sure that it's not quite as bad, but everybody knows it's bad. But let's just make it look slightly better by not releasing all the data. But you can't look at that and go, well, obviously this isn't the responsible party, because they still ended up dead. Like, this was still the leading cause. It doesn't matter where they died. So it really doesn't matter. We can look back on it now and go, yeah, this is clearly your fault. This was bad planning. And obviously, nobody knew what the fuck to do. But at that point, you could have had a better plan in place than what they were doing. It's just disappointing.
I mean, when it first came up, they denied it. They kept saying like, "Oh, it wasn't that big of a deal. We weren't trying to hide anything. Yeah. We were just like, we were just, it was all super casual, so we didn't think there was anything to hide, anyways." And then Cuomo's sex scandal came up. a couple weeks ago, and when that came up, immediately they were like, "Hey guys, you remember those COVID numbers you wanted? We got them now. We got all the numbers now. Yeah, we definitely tried hiding that stuff. Yeah, we definitely did that. That was really bad. We shouldn't have done that, right? You guys remember that? Like,
And
seriously."
then they're like, "Oh my god, they hid the numbers!" And then they're like, "Hey, there's another girl."
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, like they
Yeah.
seriously like immediately tried pivoting to like this to their COVID nursing home stuff just to try to like get everybody off the scent of the sex scandal with the staffer.
It was
It's
super
like they're going
gross.
back
Remember,
and forth.
yeah. No, back to Tony's thought about a year ago when we were talking about Drink Cuomo a year ago, and we were actually praising him because he was saying we're not going to do these stay-at-home orders. We're gonna wait until the science tells us to do something, because at this time California were locking down, a whole bunch of places were locking down. But we didn't know much about the virus at the time, so right or wrong decision. I don't blame him for some of that. He was trying to do what was right by the Constitution and what he felt personally and his constituents did. I don't blame him for any of that. But then to make that conscious decision of let's put people that are sick into these nursing homes where the most vulnerable people are, and then write a book praising yourself about it, and then accept what award did he get? Was it an Emmy? He got a fucking Emmy. And then after I think
pretending to be a leader.
Yes. Yeah. It was a great job.
Yeah.
So he writes a memoir. He lies about these numbers. He has 3 women come out with these allegations. And then just last week, Tony Phil, I don't know if I sent it to Tom or not, but I sent you guys the article to where he had COVID experts come on stage for the sole purpose of praising his leadership and his good decision making through the COVID crisis. And I was like, what the fuck kind of mindset is this guy in? He is like, everybody who wants to bitch about Donald Trump being an egomaniac and fucking crazy, dude. He is the left's version of Trump, in my opinion. Like this guy knows no bounds on his ego. He's like, no, I didn't do anything wrong. Look at me, I'm great. So like, it's like, how dare you?
Yeah. The ability to be delusional about your own grandeur and make other people support it so you can pretend like you're fooling people. But at this point, like a year ago, people could have been predicting like this guy's going to be the president. He's on cloud
we all
nine
said
right
it.
now.
You thought he was going to run
next in line. Yeah.
Oh, that's
I one of the takes I had was apparently 6 Me Too's equal 15,000 old people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I think we can now at this point say, with everything we know now, because even in the beginning, like there was some leeway to be given because we were in the fog of war and we didn't know. But at this point, with everything we know, I think we can unambiguously say that the nursing home death problem was Andrew Cuomo's fault. And it's funny, most of the panels I've been on for the last few weeks, they're like, so what's your thought on Seuss? Like, Jesus Christ, I had 2 Dr. Seuss books in my
There was one
rotation when I was a
racist
kid.
one and a few questionable things. Whatever, nobody cares.
My favorite
I mean, they stopped
growing up was
printing
no fighting, no
6
biting.
books.
You know what? Okay, so little insider baseball here. So I work in retail, and we've had since the pandemic began, we've been having big shipments of Dr. Seuss books because kids are at home, and they're not selling. They haven't sold since the fucking beginning of the pandemic. And then guess what happens? One day after that fucking story comes out, you can't find a Dr. Seuss book to save your fucking life. I was like, what a marketing strategy. I canceled 6 of my own books that probably didn't sell that great anyway. And I look like a great woke company. I sell a shit ton more books. I clean out a bunch of inventory in stores, and now I can start reprinting all the same old shitty titles that were war propaganda back in World War I and World War II. Fuck yeah, win-win. Like,
Yeah, you're welcome, everybody.
yeah,
We did it.
We did it.
We did it.
This is so stupid culture. If we figure out a way to 3D print meat and not have to kill animals in 30 years from now, if you were a non-vegan in the year 2021, you're going to be looked down upon, right? Because, well, why the fuck would you kill animals when, now you can, eat sustainable meat? So there's going to be this this is just a scenario, Phil. I can see Phil's face getting triggered right now, but
I'm just like, ew, 3D printed, like lab grown meat.
We're in imagination land right now, but imagine a world like that. So like,
well, no, I just had a better example I was going to use, but I'll wait till you're done.
Okay, that's fine.
What an ass!
Yeah, Phil is an ass.
Have you met me?
Anyway, Jesus Christ. Anyway, so if I create something, my basic premise is if I create something and I decide that I no longer want it on the market 30 years later because I've changed my thought process, but it's my creation. Like, that's my product. That's what I put out to the world. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to stop producing it. And sellers of my merchandise, I'm not going to print this or put it out there anymore. So they make the conscious decision at that point if they want to follow suit and respect my wishes, or if they're just going to sell up what they have. Like, we've seen this happen several times with other products. Sometimes you can get a freak out buy where people make a shit ton of money on it and drive prices up. But we've tended to see people get mad about that. So if they were to keep these books on the shelves, I'm not talking libraries. The library thing I got a little bit of an issue with. I'm not 100% sold on that. But a store or an eBay that's going to drive the price up of a fucking $2 paperback book that's 5 to 10 pages long, you're okay with eBay trying to inflate the price of this shitty book that really is not worth that much money to $25,000. I think it's okay for eBay and Amazon to say, you know what? Like, this is going to blow up. This is going to get out of control. This is going to be stupid. Let's not cause a market disruption right now. And let's just shelve this right now. This is dumb and people are overreacting, and they are. I don't know.
Now, if I may, just another example I wanted to throw in there, Chicken, because, you're talking about this lab-grown meat that could be, but that's a potential thing in the future that might not pan out. What I'm going to bring
abandon
up
it,
is,
to be fair.
Okay. But what I'm getting at is, every one of us, if you think that you are in that safely moral majority where you have all the right thoughts and there's no way that your ancestors will be able, or your descendants will be able to cancel you or damn you, you are quite wrong. Because you have one of these things in your pocket, a cell phone, you're talking on one of these things, and it'll be the more techie than thou that will be the most damned by future generations, because these modern conveniences all require conflict minerals like coltan. And do you have any idea the untold suffering that is brought so that we can have these little creature comforts? And I can already hear the whispers from the past when the future comes to damn you. Oh, but Phil, we had to exist in the world as we saw it then. We had to be able to be competitive in the world as it was. So did your ancestors. Maybe don't be so quick to damn them as you seem to be. And I yield back to you, beautiful people.
College degrees necessary in the future.
I thought we were going to have a serious conversation.
I know, right?
Oh, no, not here.
Have you? No, you haven't watched this show before.
Yeah.
Most of this is not serious.
Oh no, college degrees are useless.
Yeah. This is a topic that we kind of started talking about, I think, last Saturday, Phil, and you and I were actually really getting kind of in depth on this one. I'm like, we should probably talk about this a little bit, but I think the general consensus among us is that that it's kind of pointless unless you're going into a field that specifically requires a certain level of degree to get the amount of pay that you specifically want to get. It's completely irrelevant in today's day and age, and it's going to be even more relevant as the years keep stacking on.
Actually.
Well, also, the other thing to keep in mind is it's kind of a big deal that the left has been trying to get through is free college for everybody. you're gonna kind of inflate the value of a degree if you go that route. Like there's gonna well, it's basically just high school too at that point when it's just free for everybody and everybody can go. Then what's the real value of now you need to get your grad degree to even show that you've got it. So, and also in this last year, 2020, a lot of people have discovered digital learning. And
Yes.
I don't know if we're going to need the same level of college professors when you've got, instead, you could have the top 5 professors in all the world, and you can just buy their curriculum and study from them. And so
that
I
was
think
the thing we were talking about that I think we really stumbled onto something there, because what you're doing currently when you go to a 4-year college or university and you sign up for, it's still like high school. You learn a lot of stuff that you don't need to learn for the field that you're going in, just because they still require it and they want X amount more input and money from you to get that degree. They're going to make you take some stuff that you necessarily don't need to take. So if you take all those minds at these high grade universities, especially like the Ivy League university and professors, you take those people, you pull them out of the university system, and you take their curriculum, you put it on a long distance learning platform like Zoom, and you allow people to purchase their curriculum, learn from them directly, one-on-one. Only the people that want to learn that curriculum are going to purchase it and learn it and pay attention to it and study it and pass it, because that is what they want to learn. If you take it and you put it and you make it affordable to somebody who really truly does want to learn that information, and you make it affordable, and you don't make that person commit their life to moving halfway across the country, to 4 years of their life spent on schooling, barely making it by, eating ramen noodles, and you make it in an enjoyable experience, just think what that's going to have in terms of effect on society in America. You're going to have a lot more people willing to learn, wanting to learn, taking those skills that they've now learned at an affordable price and not being in debt for the next 30 years of their life, potentially, and applying that to their job and applying that to their life. Think of the quality of life is going to go up in a big way in a scenario like that. So I think we've really stumbled onto something here. I wish that was something that we could be doing. And I think, like you said, digital learning, it's a thing now and it's not going to go away. So I think you take that concept, but you apply it to a grander stage.
Well,
Cool stuff.
and so I'm assuming that you work with Phil, right? I'm getting that vibe that you and Phil are a jam session with the wrestling thing.
Actually, yes. Phil and I,
Yeah.
when we started doing podcasting in general, Phil and I would, we've been wrestling fans for pretty much our whole lives, and we'd text back and forth making our inside jokes and shit. And finally, I'm like, why are we giving this away for free when we could be like potentially making money off? Let's do a podcast. So we started doing podcasts, and then Chicken got jealous. And
so you're now making money, and I was like, I gotta help these motherfuckers get an audience.
No, that's bullshit, because on our Anchor, as of yesterday when I looked, we're up to $9.57 on our Anchor account. So we are fucking rolling in.
You can buy a bottle of Popov with that.
That's what I'm saying. Right? Exactly.
You've graduated to Will. Yeah, she's sharp, man. I'm telling you, Melania's gonna cut somebody. Melania and God, what's his Melania and Ivanka. Like, she plays dumb, but that girl's sharp.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, fellas. We got
We're just talking for Tom's Twitch stream for him while he gets a nap in. Like, that's what's happening.
Yeah.
He's getting free content off us. Tommy's sheepy. He needs to.
What you're seeing right now is Tom crashing after like a month and a half of straight stream.
No. What this represents is Tom doing the stock market.
As I'm known to say around here. Oh,
wait.
What do you need, T?
God damn it.
What do you need?
Here, now do it.
Oh, that being said, just for you, Urasama, thank you for joining us this evening for the Dog and Chicken Show, episode 80. Circle back. Be sure to like, share, subscribe right here. You know it's the right thing to do. Big Buckin Empire. I am the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your king of extreme, Phil KOE. You can find me at KOE Nation on Twitch and YouTube, because you know it's what you need to do. And also, folks, yep, he's out. He's gone. Check out Tomfoolery Show at Tomfoolery PC whenever you get a chance when he's not sleeping. He might be streaming indefinitely for the rest of the night, so definitely go check him out there. Okay, he's back. He's back. Welcome back. Hey there, but check out Tomfoolery Show. Check out
Says he supports
Valinor.
reforming Senate filibuster in ABC News exclusive interview. President Joe Biden on Tuesday said he supports changing the Senate's filibuster rule back to requiring senators to talk on the floor to hold up a bill. The first time he has endorsed reforming a procedure the White House has for weeks insisted the president is opposed to eliminating. The comments made in an exclusive interview with ABC News' George Stephanopoulos could galvanize reform advocates who argue that the legislative filibuster is stemming Biden's agenda in a narrowly divided Senate. So, Phil, what does this mean for us, and why is it something we should care about?
Well, I actually was on a panel the other day on Prime K's panel, or the Dylan Burns show. Sorry, I've just been all over the place lately, folks. But I was on the hang on, Ursa. Hey, everyone, we need to save chicken from his overlords before he never eats another taco again, because it'd be my lord, It's our poor chicken. But anyways, long story. Dang it. But so anyways, I was on the Dylan Burns podcast, Dylan Burns TV, and we actually had a discussion about the filibuster. Now, unfortunately, there was other people on that show, and so it wasn't just the King of Extreme giving you a filibuster about the filibuster, why we need to keep the filibuster. So I know, but here, folks, you can get the completely unfiltered, unsanitized, unhomogenized, unpasteurized take from your King of Extreme. So what I was basically getting at is, guess what, folks? In our legislature, we have no other mechanism that forces compromise between both sides of the aisle. There is none left. And when this is gone, that's it. It's a race to the bottom of who can push through their favorite political cows, sacred cows, when they've got the thinnest of majorities, and push through those sacred cows they shall. And, there's a lot of things the left want to get done. There's a lot of things that the right are going to get done when they get Congress back. And you're going to wish that there was at least one mechanism that forced a little bit of compromise. And like I was saying the other night on that very show, tick-tock goes the clock, Democrats. You have 22 months left until you lose the House and perhaps the Senate. So are you going to, like Mitch McConnell once said, you might live to regret this decision maybe sooner than you think. And also, I can never really resist an opportunity to pull out my awesome Mitch McConnell impression. So I had to really drop it there too. And so that was my
if I might interject real quick, I do have a question, because I've heard you say this several times, and you allude to this because it's true. In 22 months, the Democrats will eventually potentially lose control of the entire government, which right now they do have a stranglehold on. So in those 22 months, you don't feel like there's anything that they're going to be able to do to keep that stranglehold, or put some measures forth to maintain that stranglehold? Because 22 months, sure, it doesn't seem like a long time, but it should be enough time for them to push some things through to maintain that stranglehold. And likewise, there's not something of a contingency plan in place if a filibuster were to go away. There's not something we could see it evolve into, or something replace it in general.
Well, in regards to what can they do in these 22 months and what can they push through, on a lot of things, Biden's choices are really just continue to do what Trump was doing or fail. Those are really his choices.
Well, he's not doing that at all.
Yeah, well, I mean, like even at the border, where we're seeing that, like he's got some very limited choices here, and it's we don't do these things because we like them. We do it because there's much worse alternatives, and so this is. Yeah, he does have a very interesting crossroads because today he did just say he's on for reforming some measure of the filibuster. We will see what that becomes, and again. When the shoe's on the other foot, Democrats remember that turnabout's fair play. So, I mean, that's, there's going to be a lot of complaining when the right wing starts to takes back government and starts to push through some of their sacred cows. And then people are going to kind of start to chafe and wonder about this whole filibuster thing, because I've always noticed that for people on the left, the only institutions that need reforming are the ones that don't go their way. Have you ever noticed that? Like the minute an institution doesn't go their way anymore, suddenly it all needs all this reform. So we will see what happens. But again, it's a point that I've also made many times is that if you can't get at least 60 votes to pass something, maybe it's not as valuable to the American people as you'd like to think it is. So, I mean, there's a lot of things I'd like to get through, but guess what? Apparently, most of America don't agree with me. I need to go to fucking the elections and try to get some of this shit passed. Them's the bricks. That's what sucks. That's the frustrating thing about democracy is sometimes it doesn't go your way.
Well, no, and that's the whole. That's basically that's just how the entire voting process works. Sometimes it's going to go your way, sometimes it's not going to go your way. And the real reason it's structured like that is because if it stopped doing that, if we just got our way and then that was the end goal, we really wouldn't need to be electing new officials at any point. We basically just have the things that certain groups and certain states and certain people wanted, and that would be it. But it doesn't work that way, because if you don't mix these things up, then our current structure of government doesn't really have a purpose to exist anymore. My God, they would sure hate to see that happen.
Oh, sheesh, Tony, be still my beating heart. But no, I kid. But, well, again, there really isn't any mechanism left for compromise in our Congress. So
I think we're past the point of being able to compromise, not just in a civil way, but compromise, period, because over the last, 5, maybe 6 years in the government, it's gotten a lot more cutthroat, I feel, especially in our lifetime. I feel like it's just gotten to the point where there never really was any reaching across the aisle, because that was always just it was a buzzword saying, you just said it to make it sound good. But it's really true now. There really is no compromise. There is no reaching across the aisle. Even in a time of crisis in the last year, how much real reaching across the aisle was there? I'm looking back through our old shows from a year ago, right? I'm trying to pull some clips from 2020 shows. And for about 2 weeks, I was actually watching us discuss the topics of the day. And a few times I'm actually watching us go, oh, they really are compromising. They really are talking about reaching across the aisle and checking to bring it like, this is great. It's not going to last, but this is great for the short term being. And exactly, we got past that about 2-week barrier, and it was right back to normal. It was right back to the mudslinging. It was right back to throwing each other under the bus and putting up barricades to prevent anything from happening on both sides. And that was right when we were getting into the heart of the pandemic. And it was really unfortunate to see that even that temporary truce could only last not even a month, really, if you want to go back and look at it. So you're right. We're to the point where there is no compromise. There is no accepting small defeats, because at this point every defeat is going to be a monumental defeat to the party's eye.
Sorry, I had to keep my singing voice in fetch.
No, yeah, exactly. Like 3 to 5% of it actually got to the public, and I get it. Like a lot of the people that this is going to, they truly needed money, but they needed this money months and months and months ago. And unfortunately, they didn't get much. Like Urasama said just a second ago, during that whole crisis last year, about $2,500 each per person, when they needed this money plus a hell of a lot more last year, when everything was shut down, when businesses were going under, when people weren't even allowed to go to damn work. That's when we needed the money the most. And unfortunately, it's coming too late, too little, too late for a lot of people. I feel like it's nice that it's coming now. Sure, it's like, sorry, here you go. This maybe makes up for it for some of you, but at the same time, like you said, 3 to 5%. What the hell else was in that $1.9 trillion?
Well, Tony, the reason we all know why the last COVID bill didn't pass until after the election, Nancy Pelosi wanted to get the results she wanted from the election, which means Nancy Pelosi was willing to starve tens of millions of her fellow Americans to get a political outcome. So, folks, any of those anti-Trumpers out there, just remember that this makes Nancy Pelosi a worse this is worse than anything even Trump has been accused of. Who cares if it's true or not? Take the worst thing he's been accused of. This is worse. Okay? And so that's why one of the reasons she's stepping down.
It directly affects the people that would be defending her for it. So it's blatant just homerism to the Democratic Party, in my opinion, because it doesn't matter how you want to look at it. Like you're right, there was a ton of pushback from the Democrats, from Trump wanting to upgrade the amount of money that people would be receiving, to making it go through faster. There was so much pushback, but you knew that was going to happen because the things that they were suggesting into the bill, you knew that the Republicans were to go against it just on principle, on their beliefs. So they got the desired effect there. They made the Republicans look like shit for voting it down that time or being against it that time. But then when they finally got it through, we saw this last time when we actually got money to go through, like the Kennedys, the Arts Center upgrades in the tune of like millions and millions of dollars. You're seeing the same thing here, the foreign gender studies. And I don't know what all was in this one. I didn't really pay attention to it because at this point, I'm just like, it doesn't matter what they sneak through. They're going to do it anyway. And who's going to be paying that back? Not the people that we're sending money to overseas, not the nonprofits that we're sending money to. It's going to be us. It's going to be us tenfold come tax return. Maybe not this year, maybe not next year, maybe not in 4 years, but at some point we'll be the ones paying it back. So do keep that in mind. But you're right, it did get the desired effect, and it was just unfortunate that it came at such a desperate time for so many Americans when they really truly needed the money. That was the time they took the opportunity to play political chess, not just with our livelihood, but a lot of people's lives. And that's what disgusts me the most.
Yeah, I found it so weird that Trump did kind of short circuit everybody's brains in the fact that now Republicans were pushing for universal basic income and Democrats were how are we going to pay for this means testing folks? Like it suddenly became so very weird. Like we all just flipped on, like, yeah, just everything flipped. So, Tony, you, Mr. Centrist, it had to just be goofy for you to watch. It had to just be like, huh.
What's goofy, and really in hindsight, what's really goofy to look at is if you look at a lot of the things that Donald Trump was trying to push through, especially that last year of his term, if it was anybody else, some of the things he was pushing to do, everybody in America would have been head over heels for it. But instead of seeing a friendly Elmo puppet saying these things and people being like, oh, yeah, that'd be great, let's do that, they're seeing Charles Manson and going, well, it doesn't really matter what he's saying because that's the devil. So I don't care what he's saying. I don't care how good it sounds. I can't go with it out of principle. So, but it's so fascinating to look back and see a lot of the things that he was doing and a lot of the things that he did that just out of, I guess, spite, the executive orders that Biden put through his first 30 days in office, like a record number of them, a lot of them didn't need to be undone for really any discernible reason whatsoever. Like a task force he put together to go after child sex trafficking. Why did that need to go away? What was the point of eliminating that? The decreasing the cost to the consumer on life-saving insulin. Why did we need to get rid of that other than to smite the Republic? I don't get it.
That one alone might be why Biden doesn't run for re-election, is just that one particular thing is just such a power, because the Democrats, the number one issue that they poll the best on is healthcare. And if you've got one tiny little dent in your armor anywhere on healthcare, the Republicans can just grab it like a fish hook and rip it open. So that's where I think Biden's probably not running for re-election in 2024 just on that
I
alone.
couldn't believe the amount of people. Well, I couldn't believe the amount of people that I saw once that became a thing that were actually defending it. Like, well, no, because that was really only to a small percentage of actual consumers, and really it was only in cases where it was already affordable for those people anyway. But the fuck it was. You are so fucking head up your ass at this point that I have nothing to say to you, because anybody who supports making life-saving drugs and treatments and medicines unaffordable to the common person, if you're defending that practice, I'm sorry, just you need to check your morals, because anybody who preaches for universal health care then defends getting rid of affordable insulin, it's not about your morals anymore. It's just about you being right about your political stance.
God, I hate to agree, but I'm going to agree with that one. So, yeah. No.
Kidnapping Kong would be a great way to boost ratings for the TV show he sponsors. You know, that's true. While we were watching that the other day, there were some very unsettling, let's call them parallels for the world around us right now, where... Okay, real quick, before we close this out with our last topic, we do have something. Let me check here real quick. I think we had a special update. Yes. Hang on. Am I hearing you clearly? Oh, yes. We have a correspondent. This is new. We have a new correspondent to the Dog and Chicken Show of the Big Buckin Empire. Yeah, we have a new correspondent. And they're actually checking in on another a friend of ours, Tom Foolery, who streams basically 24/7. We have a correspondent. Let's see what's going on over there real quick. Oh.
All right.
Not much going on over there, folks. I'm sorry. Tom's asleep again. That's unfortunate.